Hey YouTube, Mr. T. Swindell here. Listen, I saw something on YouTube, actually yesterday as a matter of fact, that I hadn't seen before, and yeah, it's not because it wasn't there, it's because I got other things to do and I don't spend a lot of time on YouTube, but it's a great resource for research and getting your mind to turning, thinking on things, you know. Sometimes something's right in front of you, you know, like right in front of your face, but you don't see it and you don't think about it until you get in the right state of mind. And that's where I was yesterday. So in looking around, I found videos. Actually, I found two or three different videos on how to vacuum seal mason jars. And if you haven't seen it, go around and look. They're easy to find. I just didn't look. So anyway, you can vacuum seal a mason jar with a freeze dryer. In this case, I've got the Harvestright. And the people that were doing their vacuum sealing of jars were using the Harvestright also. So it got me thinking, okay, if you can do that with a mason jar, when we do our freeze drying, we put things up in mylar bags, as do most people. And we order our bags from Harvestright. They got the small ones and they got the bigger ones. I have four members of the family are in the household at this time, so we go ahead and try to fill up as much as we can in a large bag. But the problem is, as most of you have probably found out, it's damn near impossible to draw a vacuum on a mylar bag. There's a few tricks here and there, and I've tried them. You know, there's some of them where you put you take and put a couple of tabs from a freezer bag, food saver bag, the textured side. You put a couple of tabs down in there, and you try to vacuum seal it with a food saver machine, and sometimes it'll work. I haven't had real good luck with that. But what I did do is I tried something else using a piece of copper tubing. Hold on just a second, I'll show you that. I'll be right back. Okay, so abracadabra, here I am. This is what we were using to draw a vacuum in our large mylar bags. You know, this end hooks to the food saver machine, and then this copper tubing, which I flattened out a little bit on there. You see, I flattened it out some, would be inserted into the mylar bag. And you can see that I've cut a corner on this one. Generally what we would do, and I'm sorry if I'm being long-winded, I'm just trying to walk you guys through my path of discovery, or, you know, whatever you call it. I'll think of it in a minute. So what we would do is we'd put the contents in the bag, then we'd run the seal across the top, full length, using the impulse sealer. Then we would take and cut a corner off just big enough to get this tube down in there. And then when you get the tube down in there, you can draw a vacuum, and it does okay. It's not bad. It's better than nothing. And that helps. We'd also throw an oxygen absorber in there, but you know, that's an added expense. But that's what we've been doing. Tube for mylar bags. All right. And it's been working okay. But whenever I saw the jar thing where you put, you know, you put a flat or an upside down tray into the freeze dryer. Gives you a flat surface to set the jars on. You can put a lid on and then loosely put a ring on. You run the machine, the vacuum part of the machine, not the actual refrigerant, because you have to take the shelves out, which you can see my shelf right here. If you don't take the shelf out, you've got no room. So it has to come out. Then the machine senses that the shelf is not in and it won't operate. At least mine won't. And I think that's pretty much the way a lot of them are. So you pull the shelf out. I just turned the refrigeration unit portion of the machine off completely. And I took the vacuum pump and I can connect it individually to an extension cord right here at the front of the machine so I can see what I'm doing. Eventually I'm probably just going to make me a bus box where I can plug the machine in and have it switched. That would be safer. Okay, so I'm thinking if you can do that with the jars, is there a way that we could do that with the bags? Now, whenever I was teaching my wife and the kids, what I had found out about sealing these mylar bags is if you will, you got your contents in here, we've taken the tube and we've drawn a vacuum, and then we kind of fold it over where the contents are, so you get a nice flat, a good flat edge there. So whenever you go to seal it, you don't have a failed seal. You got a good seal. I approached that in the same way here. So what I did was, I put the contents in here. In this case, it's just popcorn. But it works with soft stuff also. So I put the contents in. I made sure I had a nice flat space above the contents, and I left it folded over like that. Okay, and then what I did is open up the freeze dryer. No shelf. This is just the bare drum. Take the bag and lay it in there like that, where the flap is against the drum, and just set it in there like that. Okay, and then of course you got to close the door, you got to close the valve, and then plug in the vacuum, and it starts to vacuum. All right, and for the purposes of this video, I'm going to go ahead and show you exactly what that looks like. So what I'm going to do is cut this seal open and loosen the bag up so you can actually see what's going on. And I have forgotten my scissors. I'll be right back. Okay. Let's turn this around a little bit. Okay. So what I'm going to do, since I've already done this corner, I'm going to do the other corner. And the reason why I'm cutting this corner open is to allow air back into the bag, which once you get some of that flat portion to with a vacuum behind it, this thing actually holds pretty good even without a seal for a short period. And it takes a little bit of doing to get it to open up so that you can, so I can demonstrate to you, because I did this earlier this morning to show my wife, and it's a little bit of a pain. Get something else here. I don't know if you could hear that, but there was a little bit of a hiss there, even after I cut the top open. Okay. Alright. Now it's all squishy again because I broke the seal and we have air. in the pouch, in the bag. And you can hear it. All right, so what I'm just going to do the same thing. Well, I'm going to do the same thing that I did earlier. I'm just going to shake the contents down to the bottom. All right, and just fold the bag over. It's already been sealed across the top. All right, so it's been sealed across the top, but this works the same even if you hadn't done the seal yet. Okay, and you'll see what I'm talking about in just a minute. In fact, let me turn some lights on. Okay, I've got some more light there. And I'm really excited about this. I don't know if you can tell, but this has been a pain for us in the past. Oops, I folded that the wrong way. Let's fold it the other way. There we go. Okay. It doesn't matter which way you do it. It doesn't matter, as far as I can tell. All right, so we got our bag in there, and you saw that it's open. It's still squishy, no seal on it. Sorry if I'm long-winded again. This really excited me to figure this, or to put the pieces together. I didn't figure out anything. I just put the pieces together in my head and then tried it. Okay, bag is in there. Yep. Close the valve, and I had success with like 10 seconds. By the way, I've got the I don't know if you can see that pump back there. I've got the oilless pump. If you guys get a chance to get the oilless pump, you have got to get it. I'm telling you. I mean, it is awesome. Maintenance free. Does the job exactly as it's supposed to. I mean, it is the bomb. No lie there. All right. So, everything's ready. I'm going to start this thing up. And when the pump quietens off, that usually tells me it's got a good strong vacuum. And I'll go about 10 or 15 seconds beyond when it quietens down. So, here we go. All right, you can hear how loud it is right now. And if you notice, look, the bag looks like it's blowing up. Well, that's because the air in the bag is trying to get out with the rest of the air in the chamber. Okay? So don't be alarmed if you see that. All right, just wait quiet. 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, 5 1,000, 6 1,000, 7 1,000, 8 1,000, 9 1,000. 10 1,000, and okay, I think that's good enough. All right, it's off. Look at it shrinking down. Isn't that awesome? Look at that. And boop, there we go. Look at there. All right. See, look at that. And you see the line where it's trying to keep its vacuum, its suction? I don't have to speed along with this. It's not something that I have to be really, speedy with. So you can do your freeze drying. You can actually go ahead and seal them. And then, because you got to wait for the defrost on the freeze dryer. You got ice in there, you got to wait for it to defrost. So pull your stuff out, throw it in the bag, seal it up. Don't even worry about the air. See how I've been standing here running my mouth, and this thing has still got a good seal on it. And this is the corner that I'm going to reseal. So just throw it in there. Oops, it'll work better if I plug it in. Throw it up there. And voila. I think you can see that. Yeah, see that? Hard as a brick bat. Okay? So, let me turn those lights off. They're blinding me. Okay, so that was a proof of concept. These mylar bags are supposed to be very durable and stand the test of time. The contents of the bag should be good for 25 years, I believe they say. All right, that was hard kernels of popcorn. I did the same exact thing with a bag of, this was chili. Freeze-dried, cooked chili, and this was done on the 11th, which was 4 days ago. All right. It was whenever we took it out of the freeze dryer and put it in the bags, of course, if you've done chilies and soups and stuff like that, you know that it's crumbly. And it pulverizes very easily. So I put it in the bag, and I redid this bag from its original packaging because we couldn't vacuum it down tight enough, you know, and it was kind of, you know, like almost like a pillow. So... And I told my wife, I want one that didn't vacuum down real good with the tube. So she dug one out and didn't have to go far to get it. When I say far, I mean far down in the pile. It was pretty much on top. So she got this out. I did the same exact thing I just showed you there. It did the same exact thing. There was no rush necessary. Everything held its vacuum till I got over here and put the seal on it. And that's good to go right there. All right. One more thing. Anyway, that's very exciting. To me, that was a big deal because we had not been able to get a good vacuum on our mylar bags. Now, using that freeze dryer right there, we can do it. And I paid good money for that oilless vacuum pump to go on that freeze dryer. That vacuum pump was $1,600. So, of course, I want to get my money's worth. And if I can get something out of it beyond, over and above just freeze drying, then I feel like I'm golden. And I'm sure you will too. If you guys have got a freeze dryer and you've got an oilless pump and you're having problems with your mylar bags, getting them to vacuum down good, that is the shizzle right there. I'm telling you. Now wait, one more thing. Just one more thing. How many of you have some of these laying around and you maybe have tried water bath canning and stuff like that, but wasn't real sure if it would seal or not? I don't have a time test on this, but I do know that it will work. In fact, it works so good sealing one of these. When you put this sucker in there, you don't want to put that tight. Just barely where it's starting to engage the threads on the jar. But, and I hadn't got past this yet. Once you vacuum seal this, especially if there's nothing in it, or maybe there's dry contents or something like that. Once you seal that sucker up, it's there. It's sealed. It is absolutely sealed. And I had to puncture this thing to get it to turn loose so I could get the cap off. I even put a cap wrench on it and dented it. Dented the lid. I mean... So, if anybody has got an idea on how to deal with that, I would be most grateful. What I'm thinking is, if I puncture it, if I want to reuse it, then I'm probably going to have to put some RTV or something like that on there, because I tried tape. Blue painter's tape, I can tell you for a fact, does not work. The air will penetrate through it under vacuum very easily, so you don't get a seal. But you can vacuum seal these big jars. This is an olive jar. I'm sure you can do pickle jars. You know, that would be awesome. Even if you only get one use out of that lid, but you're able to put something up and keep it in that volume, that'd be great. Be awesome. So, let's see, is that it? I think that's it. You can, with your freeze dryer, seal mylar bags dependably. And as far as I know, those are supposed to last a good while. For hard foods or for soft foods, works the same. You can do jars. You can even do commercially bought jars. And like I said, I just ran across this today. And I know there's going to be questions. I'll try and answer your questions if I can. Most of what I've learned today is just brand new. I haven't given it a lot of thought, but I was really excited about getting it out there because I looked. I searched and searched, and I only found like 2 or 3 videos that showed you how to do the jars. And I haven't seen anything about the mylar bags using your freeze dryer. So, there you go. I've got my alerts turned on now. Sorry if I've missed some questions in the past. Please forgive me. I'm busy. I'm a working man, and I got kids and grandkids. So everybody knows how that goes. If I don't get to you right away, I apologize up front. If I never get to you, I apologize for eternity. You know how it is. Life takes precedence over everything. So, I hope somebody learned something today. And if you like what you see and what you hear, give me a thumbs up. You know, smash that like button, whatever they keep saying. And pass it on somewhere. Because in the times that we're in right now, you need to be able to put some food back and feel good about it and know that it'll be there when you got to go back and get it. So I think this is good information that'll help a lot of people out. And, you know, even if you're doing this for someone else in your family, you will feel confident that what you're giving those family members is going to be good, safe food. And, you know, you'll sleep good at night. All right, so if you have any questions, again, post them in the comments, and I'll try and get to you as soon as I can. Y'all be safe out there, and God bless. God bless America.